All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. So, today's topics, because we're going to jump right into this, we are going to talk about gender reassignment for kids. Now, we're not going to be fucking, LGBT bashing or anything, like that, even though it might sound like it, but I get it to the LGBT community. Anytime you speak against them or you disagree with them, you're automatically bashing their community. Such is fucking life. The other thing we're going to talk about, guys, is the Parental Rights in Education Bill. This is the bill also known as or called uh, Don't Say Gay Bill. So, let's start with the gender reassignment for kids. As I hope a lot of you know, that is a very bad thing. Gender reassignment for kids, guys, should never, ever, ever happen, at least till they're adults. Deborah Do, thank you for the donation. Right? Um, this is something, guys, that I know parents. I don't. You know what? I don't know what parents are thinking. I really don't. I don't know why you would have your kids get a gender reassignment surgery that's irreversible. I don't know if they're clipping nuts, but they are absolutely operating on little girls to get their breast removed or breast tissue removed so that they can keep a flat chest like a boy. Um, the gender reassignment, guys, should be illegal. But psych patients of the world, liberals we're talking about, are making it okay or acceptable. It shouldn't be neither. Catskill NY Prepper, absolutely, this is a form of child abuse. But you have so many doctors speaking on this, it's scary. Now, I just did a video on this morning, so that video will probably be released tomorrow morning, and you're going to see the doctors in it because I forgot their names. But there were three doctors, and one who refers to her son's penis because her son's trying to be a girl as a girl penis. Kevin Grip, thank you for the donation. What the fuck's a girl penis? I mean, I really don't want to go down this fucking road and harp on girl penis. Well, what the fuck is that? Like, how the fuck do you come up with this stupid term? It's not a girl, it's a penis. That's it. They try to sit there and tell us that sex organs don't mean you're the sex you are. So if you have a penis, you're not really a boy because your genitalia doesn't define your sex. But wearing a skirt and walking around with a purse does. Psych patients of the world. So doctors across America, guys, they're performing these procedures on kids as young as 13. That's too young. Now, I would say let's not perform any of these surgery on these kids until they're adults and they are, I don't know, 21. That's just my thought. I don't think that kids this young should be getting their body ripped apart and then have some shit they can't reverse. Because then if they want to reverse it, which is happening more often now than not, kids are getting this done and then regretting it a couple of years later. Mama Bear, I don't know what biology is. I really don't. I mean, not that I don't know what it is, but they don't follow biology anymore. Sorry. And I don't know why they're ignoring it, but whatever. Yes, Arkansas Living, you would probably be considered a bearded lady because you said so. So, there was a guy in the city that he committed some crime. It's a guy, right? It's a dude. And he sat there and said he's a female, he's transgender. The guy clearly looks like a guy. Like, there's no transgender anything going on. There's no dress, there's no long hair, there's no makeup, there's nothing. He's just saying he's a chick. And the article that was written by the Post kept referring to him as a her. Whatever. These doctors, guys, they're doing irreversible procedures. You can't reverse this shit. Though, there is one doctor who sat there and said, if you want to reverse it, you can just go get some breast by getting plastic surgery, breast enlargement. I'm like, what? Why? Why? So Explorer says you're not defending humanity. by not defending trans. I know a lot of New York City firefighters who are trans. Explorer, what do you know? The 3 or 4 trans people on the job? I think it's 5 now. Excuse me. Listen, they have psychological problems. I'll be the first to say it. There are some trans people out there who I believe wholeheartedly need to be the opposite sex, even though they're not. But then there are many who are psych patients. Here in the United States, guys, the process to become transgender is really easy. There is no psychological evaluation. If you go and tell somebody, I want to be a girl today, they will just write it off and send you about your fucking way. And explore, we are talking about kids. We're not talking about adults. Adults, do what the fuck you want. Kids should not be touched. Now, if you agree that kids should be getting this operation, that makes you a fucking asshole and that makes you a part of the problem. Because today's world, we are not investing enough in kids and their mental health. We are just answering the call by giving them whatever they want. Giving them whatever video games they want to play, giving them whatever technological devices that are out there. We're just giving it to them. We are not fucking entertaining what's going on in their heads. Oh, you want to wear a dress today? Okay. And that's it. Kids have, and are very impressionable, guys. And we all know this. We all know that they're very impressionable. So there is a certain understanding that a kid could watch something on TV and tomorrow want to be a girl because he saw this shit on TV. They played this shit here in the United States, guys, and other countries are not dealing with it like we are. Maybe the UK, and even the UK, there's a pushback on this with the kids. Again, you want to be an adult and you want to play this game? Fine. But if you are not an adult, then you should leave the kids alone. Kids do not need to know what a girl penis is, because I still don't know what that is, and I do not want to see one. The crazy shit is, guys, there are a lot of doctors who speak out against this, and they are losing their jobs. They're losing their jobs, they're losing their standings in the medical community because they're speaking out against this. There's some doctors who are scared to speak out against this because they don't want to lose their license. They don't want to lose the practice that they're in. So there are doctors that are keeping their mouth shut. But now, how the fuck did we let that bunch of psych patients ruin people's jobs? There needs to be a better pushback from parents and adults. We need to be tackling women, and not physically, I'm talking about intellectually, tackling people like those ladies that want to dismember these kids at such a young age. So, Explorer, again, you are clearly not paying attention, so I'm not going to address you after this. But we're talking about kids. All right? We're talking about small kids who do not need to be getting chopped up. That's what I'm against. Again, you're thinking emotionally, you're not thinking logically, and you're not looking at the facts. Facts are, guys, majority of kids who want these reassignment surgeries done wind up changing their minds before they get this surgery done. A lot of kids who have had it done, they change their minds after they get it done. Telling the kid that this is irreversible, they don't understand that, and they want to go through with it anyway, and then they regret it after they do it. Now, I don't know if they are snipping the boys' balls. I don't know. But you are sitting here arguing about some shit because either you're a psych patient yourself or you're thinking emotionally or both. Don't. Yes, and Rapture Ready, you do what you want. But telling kids that they might be transgender is bad. Telling kids they might be gay is bad. Telling kids that, it's okay, the surgery's not that bad is bad. You got to tell them the consequences with these, and they don't tell these kids that. And listen, guys, a lot of people, you guys might be, pro-trans. Listen, I don't have a problem with them, but I still recognize them as their original sex, right? And I'll call them by name so that if I have any, and I don't, but if I had any transgender friends, I would call them by name. I wouldn't refer to them as she, especially when they're not, or he, especially when they're not. Jeffrey says, why is Explorer gay? Explorer is, I didn't say he was gay, I say he's part of the problem. ArtNet. But listen, you can get the whole psych community that agrees with him on here. I'll battle every last one of you. Because the problem with you guys is that you don't want to see the bigger picture. You only want to hear about your fucking gripes and your stories. Every time someone speaks out against what might be bad in the LGBT community, you guys want to sit there and say it's homophobic. That is your go-to fucking argument. Oh, you're homophobic. I'm like, because I don't think kids should be getting this operation, or because I don't think that we should play along with psych patients and believe in this fantasy world they live in, whatever they are, whatever they believe. Transgender people, they want to live in that world, that's fine. I'm not about that. Granted, I will respect them as a person. I'm not going to sit there and fucking and treat them any differently. But when you start to tell me, sorry, thank you for that, fear not. When you start to tell me, guys, and listen, and let me walk it back a little bit. With transgender, they're picking a sex. They're picking female or male. That's it. So if a guy wants to be a chick, I'm like, all right, he is picking one thing, chick. If she wants to be a dude, she's pretending to be a dude. There. That's two things I'm like, all right, I could tolerate this. I cannot tolerate the new shit that we're looking at today where people are like, I am non-binary, want to be sometimes, 10% of the times, sometimes I am female. I don't want to deal with that shit. That's fucking stupid. And this is the shit we are entering in now. We're entering this bullshit, you know? Someone said, prep, my child is only 2 and she is trans. She is a beautiful girl and proud of her. Quit hating on my daughter. I'm not hating on your daughter. I'm hating on your parenting skills, if that is real. If your daughter is 2, if your son is 2 and thinks it's a girl, there's a fucking problem. So I'm hating on your parenting skills. Your parenting reward gets revoked, buddy. Beat it. With that, guys, there's an absolute problem here. That's the gist of it. Doctors are performing these reassignment surgeries, and they shouldn't be done. Yeah, the trolls are definitely out. Guys, listen. They're sitting there all together. Oh my God, look at him. He's talking bad about us. And they're probably trying to give me all the thumbs down they probably can. I don't give a fuck. I don't play that card, guys. Oh, Rock Prep was joking. Sorry. Listen, I can't tell when you guys are joking on here. It's hard to fucking see. And Van City Prepper, thank you for bringing that up. Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you, this is a fucking horrible story, but I have to tell it. Yeah, no, Johnny, I figured it out after he said he was, so I apologize, Rock Prep 11. My fault. I was a kid. We all were kids. But I thought I was, yeah, I get them. My nipples are getting hard, but not for that reason. I was on a slide, all right, and there was no slide to the ladder. So the ladder goes up, and there's no slide. It's an easy, I don't know, 6-7 foot drop to the ground. So like an asshole, guys, I think that the slide is still there because I'm like, oh, maybe the slide's invisible. All right. And I was like 5, guys. I'm looking at the slide. I'm like, yo, it's there. It's invisible. I'm gonna jump on it and I'm gonna land on it. And I'm gonna slide down. What do? I jump on top of the slide that's not there, and what happens? Boom! Hit the ground. My father is sitting on the bench. He's watching this whole thing. He comes running over. He's like, what the hell were you thinking? Not are you okay? He's like, what is wrong with you? I go, and I tell him in my dying breath, I thought it was invisible. I could have swore I heard him mutter, you fucking asshole. But anyway, he picked me up. He carried me away. And listen, man, I was like, holy shit. Like, and because I believe, guys, that this slide was there, that it was invisible. All right? And I was like 5, maybe 6. All right? So, yeah, Mama Bear, I hurt my stomach. So, listen, man, with that, I wholeheartedly believe that it was there. But it wasn't there. This lends to these kids thinking they're the opposite sex and they're not. And we can't give into them believing that they're the opposite sex. Now, if they're older and they still believe that and they want to go through whatever process they want to go through, then fine. But to sit there and feed into a child's imagination that they are the opposite sex, there's something to be said about what's going on in the household or that kid's brain. And you can't blame parenting on this all the way. You really can't. Even though I was breaking Rock Prep's balls, joking. I mean, after I found out he was joking, you can't really blame parents on that. There's something else going on. Yes, Stacy, I'm brain damaged, but I didn't hit. And that was the other thing I forget to mention. The ground was a rubber mat, so I did bounce a little bit, but man, did it hurt. I remember getting the wind knocked out of me and fucking laying there, just like, what the fuck was I thinking? My father was fucking amazed. My father, to this day, I mean, he's sick now, he has Alzheimer's, but he's probably, thinking in his Alzheimer's stage, he's like, what an asshole that kid was. Why would he do that? That's how he was probably looking at me, because he was looking at me when I jumped. So I guess when I hit the ground, whatever, he must have been like, what a fucking asshole. Who does that? No, it landed square on my chest to my stomach and knocked the wind right out of me. I was like, holy shit, man. That was fucking... But again, I believe that slide was there. I was like, yo, the slide is here. I have fucking trust in it. It's, it's fate. It's going to catch me. And then I jumped and boom! Man. Whew, I can still remember that. That is one of 2 pains that I can remember still from my childhood. Falling off the imaginary slide because I honestly thought it was there. So now, if I sat there and thought I was Superman and jumped off a building, are people going to go, well, that kid's stupid. He's not Superman. That's easier for people to blame that. Oh, well, you're not a superhero. But you can be something you're really not, a girl or a boy. Depends on the sex you pick. Don't make sense, man. It just doesn't make sense. But whatever, man. It's so asinine. And then people, like, they throw the suicide card at us. Like, well, what about suicide? Suicide's often an argument for letting these kids choose the gender, for choosing the gender reassignment. I'm like, you can't use suicide as it. Then if your kid is thinking about offing themselves, there are serious issues. There's serious underlying issues. You cannot blame, well, what if my kid kills himself? Then you need to get your kid fucking seen. You need to put your kid in the psych unit and have him fucking evaluated. If your kid is thinking about killing himself because he's not that sex that he was born, something is missing. These psychologists now, they are failing the kids. Because instead of diving deeper into finding out this problem, they all but throw their hands up and go, okay, we'll get you your reassignment so that you don't kill yourself. And then a lot of kids get this reassignment, and what winds up happening? They wind up killing themselves anyway. So, guys, there is absolutely something wrong. I'm trying to find somebody that I'm going to bring up in a couple seconds. Right? So, I'm looking up this guy because, speaking of psych issues and psych patients and problems being heavy, this guy named Walter Hayer, if I said his name right, he used to be transgender. So, he was a man. He decided he wanted to be a chick. He wasn't happy. He was still depressed. He got evaluated and found out that he had psychological issues that he needed to address. Once he addressed those issues, he went back to being a guy. He realized that, and he said it himself, that here in the United States, the psychological process to become trans is very limited, meaning they will absolutely do whatever go-around needs to be done to make sure that you get this sex change. And they hand it out like hotcakes. And this is for adults, not even kids. For kids, it's even easier. For adults, I could walk into a doctor's office tomorrow and be like, yo, I want my dick cut off from titties. And the doctor be like, all right, man. And then that's it. There's no resistance anymore. They're just letting these people be. Then you got these psych patients running around talking about, well, today my name is Samantha, but I think tomorrow my name will be Sam. And then I'm going to be a unicorn called Bobby. And we're letting this be because it's not hurting anybody. It is hurting people. It's hurting mental health across America. When we give in to this bullshit, we absolutely hurt mental health. People say it's not hurting people. It absolutely is hurting people. But they're not seeing the bigger picture. Yes, if you guys are talking about the pedophile thing, yes, some of the LGBT... Now, the pedophile thing, guys, you got to be careful with, because there are a lot of people in the LGBT community do not support it, and there's this new generation that is. Some of the old school and even sane LGBT community members are like, no, we're not letting these fucking PDOs in. Fuck that bullshit. We'll clip their nuts. We'll do that. Like, there are guys and women that are, and even trans, that are ready to fucking throw beatdowns over this shit. So you got to, when it comes to that, it's not all of the community, but it is enough to start getting the movement of pedophiles being treated as a sexual orientation. All right, so guys, with that being said, this video, by the way, is already demonetized. There's no saving this video. It might even get kicked or whatever. Enjoy it while I can. I'm going to upload it to my computer and then put it on Rumble if it gets kicked. With that, guys, don't say gay. The Don't Say Gay bill is a bill that the Democrats and liberals are lying about. So if you don't know what this bill is, I would like you guys to look it up, because you're going to hear people say the Don't Gay bill is going to restrict the LGBT movement. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to put the bill. Actually, I did a video on this as well. I'm going to put the bill in the bottom of the video as well. This bill is a 7-page bill. It's a short read, but it's a boring read. But the gist of the bill, guys, there's 3 parts to the bill. The first part is they don't want any sexual orientation or gender identity being taught by school personnel or third party, which is those stupid, what do they call it? Not transvestites. What the hell are they called? Drag queens. Oh, man. Those drag queens doing those drag queen storytime bullshit. They don't want them or school personnel instructing on any kind of sexual orientation or gender identity. They don't want this being done in kindergarten to 3rd grade. In any manner not age appropriate, or any age at any age, that's not age appropriate. Meaning they don't want them to be in the, 5th grade talking about blowjobs for guys, because there is a book out there that pertains to kids and talks about that kind of weird shit. So anyway, guys, that's the first part of the bill. Second part of the bill is parents can now, because the bill's called the Parental Rights in Education. That's the name of the bill. But liberals call it Don't Say Gay bill. So this second part of the bill is it also allows parents to engage with the kids' school records. So you can call up your kid's school tomorrow, in Florida that is. And the bill won't go into effect till July. So let's say in September you want to call up the school he's in, you want to look at his records. They have to let you look at his records, right? You do that today, they won't let you look at his records in most schools, that is, especially here in New York. And you also get to look at their medical records as well. So if their medical records, they're meeting with a psychologist in the school, the parents should know about it. The parents are also notified of any services that are being rendered to their kid. If their kid happens to come out or feeling confused or gay, they have to notify the parents that service is being rendered. They also, in the bill, notify the parents if any kind of talk is being discussed regarding sexual orientations or gender identity. So they no longer can just talk about it in classrooms and then telling the parents to deal with it. They have to let the parents know that they're going to be discussing this in the classroom, and I'm assuming this is after 3rd grade. So in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, if they're talking about anything that has to do with gender identity or sexual orientation, they have to notify the parents. This is a good thing, but somehow the liberals said this is bad because this bill is letting kids be kids. Period. They're not infecting them with the bullshit. They're not telling them that, they have to pick an orientation or they have to identify their teacher as us, we, and they. They identify the teachers by their last name. This bullshit now, they got a bunch of non-binary teachers teaching their kids that they want to be referred to as us, they, we, us. Psych patients fucking around with kids. And they're starting out, guys, in kindergarten with this kind of fucking behavior. So if you have a fucking weirdo teacher that wants your kids to identify him as we, us, and they, you make sure your kids identify that kid as Mr. Johnson or Mrs. Johnson, whatever the fuck their last name is. But do not take part in that pronoun shit. That pronoun shit is just more of a beatdown on society. That's all it is. So, this is not silencing anyone, guys, and it's not restricting freedom of speech or freedom of expression, as some of the LGBT people are saying it is. If you look at videos, especially on TikTok, you got people saying how bad the bill is, but they can't tell you one thing about the bill. That's how you know they're lying about the bill and they don't know what's in it. Again, letting kids be kids, and they're not also exposing kids to graphical conversations, if you will, with this bill, which is good. Now, CNN and liberal sources are making mountain out of molehill. And some of the LGBT community. There are some people in the LGBT community that agree with this bill. They're like, there's nothing wrong with this bill. Yes, sexual orientation should be left to an older age. I would say, I don't know, maybe the 6th grade. Maybe the 6th grade. And even then, you don't get too graphic. You just explain. But the problem with sex ed now, Kevin Grip, and he said in the 70s, Kevin, when you or I took sex ed in the 6th grade, it was basic. It was man, woman, and AIDS. That was it. That's all you learned about. In the 70s, you probably didn't learn about AIDS, but when I was in the 90s, we learned about man, woman, AIDS. Condom, no condom, AIDS. Suck a dick too long, AIDS. Eat a vagina out too long, AIDS. That's what we learned. But now, sex ed, it's too broad. There's too many things. There's straight, gay, bisexual, non-sexual, asexual, wall-sexual, tree-sexual, rainbow-sexual, leprechaun-sexual, unisexual. There's all these stupid fucking lists of sexualities that they have to explain in sex ed in kids' classes today. That's a lot. It's not basic. It's fucking all over the place. To boot, they're not even Mama Bear. Thank you. They're not even entertaining the drug side of sex ed, because drugs sort of go hand in hand with fucking sex, right? People want to get high and pop those pills before they have sex. So, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, guys, now that sex ed is fucking way more complicated than it was, I don't know, fucking 30 years ago, right? Maybe less than that. So, guys, if you don't mind, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. If you're pissed at me and you are LGBT, hit the thumbs down. But if you're LGBT and you support what I'm saying, hit the thumbs up as many times as you can, which will probably wind up turning it off and on. Whatever. All right, guys. So, State Senator Jeff Brennis, a Republican, offered to amend the bill that would have broadened the legislation to prohibit all instruction of any sexual topics in an attempt to eliminate concerns from the LGBT community. So they were looking to eliminate all instructions of sexual topics. Fine. And I agree with that. Now, State Senator of Florida, Jeff Brandes, is gay. But he made what I thought was a fair amendment. But it was shot down. For whatever reason, guys, it was shot down. And now they're pushing through. The LGBT youth community is saying that it takes access of a safe space away from them, which I don't know what the fuck that means. That their sexual orientation and gender identity, including schools, reported low rates of... Sorry. So the safe space, that's what I meant to say, guys, that were in schools, they say, the LGBT community is saying that they have seen lower attempts of suicide and suicide by having the safe space in the schools. Sorry. This is not getting rid of any of that. This is just saying you can't talk about it in the open. And now, if one problem that the LGBT community did bring out that I saw their issue with it. I'm not going to say I don't. I see their issue with it. Is that if a kid wants to come out and the kid talks to the guidance counselor in the school, the guidance counselor, according to this bill, has to tell the parents. Now, they're probably going to have to fix that or dress it up a little more. But I get it that they're worried about a kid having to come out sooner than they want to because they talk to the guidance counselor. Now the guidance counselor has to call the parents because the guidance counselor is not obligated to sit there and say, well, I met with your daughter because, and she has to tell them. So the student might not want to come out ahead of time, and now the student might have to hold on to that a little longer. That's an issue that they can actually figure out as the bill goes on. So it's not a big to-do. Anyway, guys, with that, walkouts, you're going to be seeing walkouts in Florida from a couple of high schools. Listen, walkouts in high school, that's stupid. That means nothing. People like, these schools are walking out because they're protesting the bill. A school will walk out because they want to save whales or dolphins or some shit. Hey guys, you want to save some whales today? Okay, let's walk out of school. And kids will just walk out of school. You know, it's just, the walkout thing that they're doing, they're like, oh, they're protesting, they're making a stand. They're not making a stand. They just want a day off from school, so they're going to walk out. And they said that if this bill is signed, that they're going to walk out every day until they get their way, or some shit like that. I'm like, that's stupid. Listen, guys, this bill, obviously these kids didn't read the bill. Obviously, anybody who has an issue with this bill didn't read the bill. Are there one or two concerns with this bill? Yes. Is there a lot of concerns with this bill? No. It's about kids being kids. That's it, guys. I don't see, I don't know why the LGBT community, and some of them are having an issue with this, but they are. So, with that, guys, we're going to be seeing more problems like this nationwide. This is just an example. This is in Florida. This is just an example. We are hopefully going to see other states drop mandates like this. Hopefully they're a little more compromised. Now, I thought the compromise was great, again, with the exception of the kid having the parents notified once they talk to the guidance counselor. I think that might be a problem because you go to the guidance counselor to talk about them with things that you might not want to talk to your parents about, right? So now once they tell you about this or any situation, doesn't have to be being gay, just any situation, there might be a problem. Yes, Kevin covers the age of 3 to 8, right? Kindergarten, whatever kindergarten is, pre-K. Sorry, pre-K to third grade. So that's 8 years old, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it covers that age, and yeah, that's all they're doing. And then for other ages, they're not going to get explicit about the sex ed, and in the 6th grade, it's going to be age appropriate. So they're not going to get carried away. Apparently, in some TikTok videos, some of the teachers have gotten carried away about explaining what giving another guy head is like the actual what it feels like, as opposed to just talking about oral sex and leaving it blanket. One of the teachers got in depth about it and descriptive about it. Sorry, so that was a problem, and parents had an issue with it. If you're going to have this conversation with kids, parents need to know what's going on, and this kind of bill should go nationwide. Every fucking parent should know what's being taught in their schools. And if there's an issue with it, the parents need to go to that school and make an issue out of it, but not sit home and go, this is bullshit. You need to get up off your ass and go to that school and get in the teacher's ass or the principal's ass or somebody's ass, no homo, and get in somebody's ass and make it right. That's what you do. MG Tal says, use the word homosexual, not gay. I don't know why. Why should we use... They both mean the same thing. Gay and homosexual is the same thing. Or are you talking about for the reasons of YouTube? Maybe. But guys, whatever. It's gay, homo, whatever you want to call it. Enough already with the fucking demonizing words to make you look like an evil person. The LGBT community has it at a point now where if you say gay, homo, or fag, you are now enemy number one. Public enemy number one. And they'll come around and smack you till it stings. It's a fucking word. Enough already with this bullshit. The demonizing of people using certain words is out of control, right? I still run around fucking, that shit is gay. Yes, super gay. Super duper uber gay. I say it all the time. Fuck them. What are they going to do? They're going to smack me till it stings? They're going to fucking throw rainbow spam at me. Please. The reason why this nation has become so weak is because we let vocabulary fucking run us. We've given power to words that mean nothing. Right? So, guys, whatever. It is what it is. And I know that there's some people, and the crazy thing is, guys, there are people in the LGBT community that stand against these things. And you will not hear about it because they go against the grain. They don't fucking agree with this shit. But you won't hear about them. You won't see them. You can YouTube them. You can Google them, and you'll see who they are. You know? But it's a small groups, and there's a lot of groups out there that want to fight this shit, but they can't. Because they're being blackballed in their own community. Imagine that, huh? Imagine you standing out against the fucking LGBT community and getting fucking axed. Exactly, Mary. It's sticks and stones, right? Marie, sorry, sticks and stone. That's all it is. Listen, guys, I don't have. If one of my kids winded up gay, which I mean, the probability of one of my kids being gay is high. It is what it is. If one of my kids are gay and he likes sucking dick, that's his prerogative. I don't care, right? I don't. It's not going to change the way I feel about my kids if any of them ended up gay. It's just not. But I'm also not going to pussyfoot around them either and be like, oh, what is it today? Do I have to be, super sensitive? Fuck that. They're growing up with me. They know how I am. We're not fucking bending here. I'm going to break their balls, make fun of them, the whole 9 yards. They're going to deal with it. Why? Because that is society today. Society, guys, for example, and I'm going back to this, the LGBT community, they want to fucking criticize you if you said the word fag 15 years ago. Well, in that video, in 15 years, and it was a grainy video, but 15 years ago, he used the F word, and it just offended me, and it made me cry. Well, bitch, if you're crying about some shit that was said 15 years ago, maybe you need to look in the mirror and fucking see who you really are. You're a fucking pansy pussy. Because if you're letting words, guys, ruin your day, rule your life, you have a problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem, right? Again, if I was some politician like Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart said, if my kid was gay, I hit him in the head with the dollhouse. He was joking. He was joking. A bit aggressive, but he was joking. And yet, they went after him over this comment. This was a stand-up he had on TV, on stage, and they went after him, and they made him apologize. I wouldn't apologize. I'm like, fuck that. It's a joke, dude. You can't take a joke, eat a dick. No pun intended. To make it more gay. Would I eat Spam? So Ghetto's asking me, would you eat Spam if they use rainbow food coloring to make it more gay? Maybe. Jussie Smollett's brother is gay too. I guess, guys. I don't know. Rapture Ready. Thank you for that. Victim mentality. There's a lot of that going on, guys. Victim mentality is running rampant in everybody's corner. Everybody's corner. The black community, victim mentality. They fucking want to blame everybody for their woes and their problems. The white community, victim mentality. Oh, the black people are making us feel uncomfortable about ourselves. Then you got the gay community. Everybody's attacking us because, victim mentality. The Chinese, they're beating us like fortune cookies out here. Like everybody's playing the victim mentality card. And they're playing it hard. Playing it fucking super hard, man. They're beating it dead right now. Comedy, like Catskill just said, comedy is dead. Because you got a fucking pussyfoot around this bullshit. You can't say gay, you can't say fag, you can't say nigger, you can't even say black. You can't say those black guys over there, he's a racist. Like, this is where we are. Comedians have to fucking navigate what they say to get their joke out. So, this whole, gay shit is getting out of control. You want to be gay, fine, be gay. Don't impede on everybody else's bullshit. Yes, guys, and Jussie Smollett is in jail. He had a breakdown. Actually, not only is he in jail, he's, what's that called? Suicide Watch. They have him on Suicide Watch. Yes. Because he faked, he faked that fucking thing with the beating of him, and this is MAGA country. And, he's in jail. Good for him. Good for him. he's probably, I mean, that's where he wants to be, jail. But because of all the man love he can get unlimited man love in jail now. But they have him in the suicide watch, so he's probably not going to get a lot of man love in jail. Uh, Whatever, man. Listen, you play fucking stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That was a stupid prize to win, you know. Also, just a heads up, guys. There's a movie coming out about Emmett Till, and you guys know where I stand, with the whole black white shit. But this movie's coming out, and you're going to be hearing more about it. So for those of you that don't know who Emmett Till was a kid back in late 50s, I think, 57 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was 54. 57 to 54. Anyway, he was lynched and killed. He was 14 years old. So he runs into this white lady down south, and I'm talking about the south. I'm going like the middle of the south, and he whistled at a white lady, and the white lady's husband and his brothers or something like that went and caught this kid. Keep in mind, he was 14 years old when he was abducted, and he was mutilated and killed, and then they shot him in the head. So you're going to be seeing this story pop up a lot lately because the movie's coming out. And it's definitely going to cause a lot of racial strife, I think. The story, guys, is shit. It's a shit story. And what happened to the kid was shit. What his mother did was by far, in that time, the bravest thing a mother could do. But I'm giving you guys a heads up on this because the movie's coming out, and the movie's supposedly really it's going to, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be really graphic. That being said, when it comes out, for those of you that are interested, I would implore you to watch the movie. Absolutely, it's just one of those. When you hear people put George Floyd on a pedestal, and he was a martyr and all this bullshit, that kid Emmett Till was the reason why the civil rights movement was started. Yes, Brian, exactly. Yep, that was so the documentary was very good. Linda, I got to see that documentary as well. Open cast. Right, guys. So again, I you know where I stand with the whole race thing, but that was a hard story to when you read the in-depth story of what happened to him. That's a hard story to listen to. So if the movie is as graphic as they're going to make it, it's going to be a tug. But I think that it's definitely going to probably cause some racial tension. Sorry, not problems, tension. Because people are going to go right back to see what they did to us, and it's going to be that fucking bullshit. But you got to take it for what it is. It was again, his mother was a hero in my book for doing what she did. But anyway, guys, that's just I said. And the reason why I also say that is because Tarji P. Henson, the chick that was in the TV show with Jussie Smollett, she made a comparison to Jussie Smollett and Emmett Till. And when you look up that article, I got about halfway through the article, I stopped reading. I was like, what the fuck? How do you compare this to that? It was whatever, man. It was a shit comparison. I couldn't believe she made that comparison. Emmett Till, he got killed because he was blamed for something he didn't do, and Jussie is being blamed for something, he did, but I'm like, how did she make that comparison? It was fucking insane. Ghetto, yeah, Emmett Till's mother should be more recognized. I wouldn't say more than Martin Luther King, but yes, I definitely think she should be recognized. Tarji, I can never say her name right. Tarji, Tarard. Brian, please don't start with the Gay History Month. They have 2 months, October and June. So please, that's and yes, guys, the LGBT community has 2 months. They have Gay History Month in October, and they have all of fucking June to celebrate with their banana hammocks and shit. So yeah, you know who June should go to? That should be Black History Month. Should be outside. Outside, and that's why the Black History Month in the coldest fucking month of the year. Oh, let's give them February. It's short, so we don't have to deal with it, and it's cold. And then, yet, here we are, LGBT gets fucking June. They get their banana hammocks and their fucking dildos, and they're swinging it around like a mason on a fucking float coming down Fifth Avenue. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How did we lose that? How did we lose that fight? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going and real word, right? Juneteenth is just a day. It's not a month. And the LGBT and even if it was a month, we'll be battling it out with the fucking LGBT community. So the black community and the LGBT community had to get in the streets and fight it out as to whose month it is. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I saw a gay guy swinging a fucking dildo like a mason, I don't want to be hit with that thing. I do not want that thing hitting me anywhere in the head or the face because I will lose my shit and kill everybody on the streets. So that being said, you know, I'll take a shield or some shit, but it'll be fucking. I mean, guys, we lost June, and someone said it's June is Black Music Month. All right, New Waters. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was even a thing. But yeah, I'm not. I'm out on that shit. Yes, Janine. Listen, guys. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole Black history. But yeah, Black history. There's a lot of history in Black history, and people are like, well, why you can't learn the amount of Black history that's out there in 1 month. You really can't. It should be incorporated into American history. Period. Right. Black history, Native American history should all be incorporated into Black history, so that there's no months of White History Month or Black History Month or Native American. It's all intertwined in the one fucking course during the time you're in school. From when you're in first grade to college, they should absolutely have Black heroes and Native American heroes intertwined in U.S. history. That's what it should be. That's an even spread. But again, there's so many heroes out there, it's hard to break it down. Listen, guys, they have Irish American history, not month, but classes in college. They have Irish American history. So they have all these different histories and Native American history school teachings because there's a lot of heroes out there. But as far as fighting it out in the middle of the street, yeah, guys, listen, it's on. I would absolutely fucking armor up and just make sure I don't get hit. I mean, guys, imagine you're fighting with a fucking gay dude and they're throwing, first of all, like 300, instead of them shooting arrows, like, and then you see them blocking out the sun, the gay community is going to throw dildos at us. And that's going to block out the sun. We're going to be like, no, and we're going to put a shield up. It's going to be bouncing on, and then we're going to try to advance, and then what's going to happen? We're going to slip on the dildos, and then we're going to fall. Then we'll be rolling around on dildos on the ground. And then we're going to lose that fight because we're going to be humiliated that we were rolling around on the ground because of dildos. So, yeah, that fight is already lost. We already lost that fight. So they can keep them on. We'll stick to February. I immediately gave up. Oh, yeah, Road Warrior. Oh yes, that dude in Road Warrior. Nice one, Rapture Ready. I forgot about that. Yeah. Holy shit. Anyway, guys, I think it's time to go off the air. I think I had enough. I think I'm starting to see things. Someone said, I'm a hero. Listen, guys, assless chaps. Yeah, Rapture Ready said assless chaps and all. Yeah, you're right, like the guy in Road War with the spiked hair and the assless chaps fucking screaming at us in the middle of the street with his fucking lover on a chain fucking, pulling him along as we're fucking battling it out. And I don't know what the fuck we're using. Listen, that's just a bad fucking fight to get into. That's all I know. I think we would lose that fight right away because we think we're going to go with the hands. We're like, we're going to take them on. We're going to fist fight. We're going to do this. And they start throwing dildos at you. The war's already lost. Matter of fact, if the Ukrainians took dildos and threw them at the Russians, they would win the war. Because Russians would be confused. Why is this hitting me in the face? What is this? And then they leave. They're like, we're out of here. And they go back to Russia. Pretty sure that's how you win a war. Because that's how they would win the war. Whatever. Holy shit. Anyway, I think I got too far into this fucking war dildo fight shit. Anyway, guys, I will definitely see you guys. I think I'm going to do a live stream Wednesday. If not, you'll see me Thursday or Friday. Right, guys? But anyway, other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. All right, guys? Good night.